St. Petersburg isn't just a city. It's like walking through a living museum. From its grand canals to palaces straight out of fairy tales, every corner tells a story of art, history, and opulence. I've always felt that there's something magical about this Russian gem where every street feels like a masterpiece. But before we start, I'm curious, where are you watching from? Drop your city or country in the comments. I love seeing how far this video reaches. 1. The Hermitage Museum. This is not just a museum. It's one of the largest and oldest in the world. Founded by Catherine the Great, it houses over 3 million works of art, including pieces by Da Vinci, Rembrandt, and Van Gogh. Fun fact, it's so big that if you spent 1 minute looking at each piece, it would take you years to see everything. 2. Palace Square. The heart of St. Petersburg. This grand square is surrounded by the Winter Palace and the General Staff Building. It's not only a historical landmark, but also the site of major events, from royal celebrations to revolutionary moments. The sheer scale of the architecture will leave you speechless. 3. Church of the Savior on Spilled Blood. This church looks like it came straight out of a fairy tale. With its colorful onion domes and intricate mosaics. It was built on the site where Emperor Alexander II was assassinated in 1881. I always stop to admire the detail in its mosaics. They're truly unlike anything else I've seen. Here's a question for you. If you could visit just one of these first 3 places, which one would it be? Comment your pick below. 4. Peter and Paul Fortress. This is where St. Petersburg began. Founded by Peter the Great in 1703, it served as a defensive structure and later became a prison. The cathedral inside the fortress is the burial place of Russian czars, including Peter himself. I love imagining the city's history starting from this very point. 5. St. Isaac's Cathedral. This massive cathedral dominates the skyline with its golden dome. Inside, it features breathtaking mosaics and paintings, and you can climb to the top for panoramic views of the city. Fun fact, the dome is covered with over 100 kilograms of gold. 6. Nevsky Prospect. This is the main street of St. Petersburg and a hub of life, shopping, and culture. Walking here, you'll see historic buildings, cafes, and theaters, including the famous Kazan Cathedral. I always find myself lost in the energy of this street. It's impossible not to be swept up in it. Quick question. Have you ever walked a street so lively It felt like the city was alive around you? Share your experiences in the comments. I'd love to know. Seven, Mariinsky Theatre. For lovers of ballet and opera, this historic theatre is a must-visit. Opened in 1860, it has hosted some of the greatest performances in Russian history. I always dream of catching a show here. The architecture alone is stunning. Eight, Catherine Palace. Located just outside the city in Tsarskoye Selo, this palace is famous for its opulent baroque style and the dazzling amber room. Walking through its halls, you can feel the grandeur of the Russian royal family. Fun fact, the palace was completely restored after being destroyed in World War II. 9. Fabergé Museum. If you love exquisite art, the Fabergé Museum is a gem. It houses a unique collection of Fabergé eggs, along with jewelry and decorative arts. I always marvel at the craftsmanship. The level of detail in each egg is almost unbelievable. Here's something to think about. If you could own one piece from the Fabergé collection, what would it be? Comment your dream pick below. 10. Peterhof Palace, often called the Russian Versailles. This palace is famous for its magnificent fountains and gardens. Built by Peter the Great, it offers incredible views over the Gulf of Finland. I've always been fascinated by the Grand Cascade, where hundreds of fountains create a spectacular display. St. Petersburg truly feels like a city where history, art, and beauty collide. Each of these places is more than just a tourist spot. They're a glimpse into the soul of the city. I promise, once you explore it, you'll understand why it's called the Venice of the North. So now, I want to know, after watching this, which of these places would you explore first? Comment below. I love reading your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this tour of St. Petersburg, don't forget to subscribe for more hidden gems and travel adventures.